Wow, that crossword, that was good. I never heard it put that way. A little demonic and playing on the religious thing, but I think God will overlook it because I laughed. Jesus doesn't judge like he used to. You know, I did that. He's busy, has more damn people. I was thinking about that the other day. I did a set last week, and how hard it is to constantly have to hate in today's society. I mean, you got to be, if you're going to be in the hate club, it's got to be constant. You can't never drop your guard. I mean, you'd be at McDonald's and just casually meet one where you got to immediately be ready to judge, and you got to immediately be ready to tell whoever you with some derogatory shit about that person that probably ain't technically true, could be funny, but you can never drop your friggin' guard. That's one reason I am glad I'm out of that business. It was tough. I mean, everywhere you go, it could wear a young fella out. All right, this young fella come all the way from Fond du Lac. He's from the deep south himself, stealing one of Andrew's jokes from years ago. Put your hands together for Mr. Derek!
So, guys, they say it's better to have loved and lost than to never have loved at all. Because, you know, it's better to have had herpes than to never have had herpes at all. Got a lot of resentment in my heart, I'm sorry. Get help, get help. Alright, I'm just drinking more, but it's the same thing, isn't it? Come on, we're in a bar. Love is a powerful thing, you know? It's really powerful. Long-term relationship, you break up, what do you want to do? You want to kill yourself. Or the flip side of that, you could stay with them, and they want to kill you for the rest of your life. You know what's up. So really, love is just a choice between murder and suicide. Pick your poison, choose wisely. God, I love the 5 people that showed up for this thing. You know, girls like it when you remember the small things. I was dating this girl for a couple years, and after a couple years, one day she put on some perfume, and I recognized it as the perfume she wore on her first date, so I said, hey, that's the perfume you wore on our first date. And she said, oh, you remember? And now that's the difference between men and women, because women, as long as you show me a boob, let me touch it, maybe have sex with me on a regular basis, you could forget my first fucking name and I wouldn't give a shit. And girls, you ask questions wrong. You always ask questions wrong. You walk into the living room, hey, do the dishes. No, I'm gonna sit here and keep watching TV. All you gotta do, one thing, say the same thing, do the dishes. Topless this time. And I'm so much more willing to do the dishes. So, obviously, I've been single for a couple months now. And, so I've got this friend, Big J, and he's a large motherfucker. He's about a foot taller than me, 3 times my size. And I'm hanging out with him, and we're kind of bored, and he says, hey, you want to go to Spice, the sex shop just off the highway? And, you know, I'd never been there before, nor to any sex shop at all. So I go, yeah, sure, let's take a trip down to the old sex shop. So we get there, we take my Mustang, you know, we're stylish. And we walk in. Now, big guy and a little guy walking into a sex shop doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. Looks terrible, as a matter of fact. He wanted to hold my hand. I said, no, not today. Not today. And so we walk up to the counter, and the guy behind the counter is just fucking eating a yogurt. And I don't know about you, but nothing gets me more in the mood to buy some sex toys than a grown man eating a yogurt. And so, you know, you gotta be 18 to go in there, so we gotta show him our IDs. So I show him my ID, and he takes his yogurt spoon, he waves me in like goddamn air traffic control. And so my Big J walks up there, and he just goes, no, I remember you. I don't know if you realize how many times you need to walk into a place before they start remembering you, but it's a lot. He goes to the sex shop a lot. No? Okay. And so as we walked away, the guy behind the counter says, "Not here with the same guy tonight, huh?" So now I'm a little frightened. A little frightened. Needless to say, I got a little action that night, though, so it's all good. So I'm at work the other day, and I work in a grocery store, and sometimes after work, me and the work guys, we go and check out the meat coolers, see if there's any meat deals, because we're men and we like to eat meat. And so, that's a joke too, come on, laugh at it. And so I find this big pork loin, and needless to say, it looks like a dick. So I go, "Hey, that looks like a dick." And my friend, without skipping a beat, goes, "That ain't no elephant dick." What? You know what that can do to a man? That's not the question I asked you, actually. So I'm thinking to myself, where's this guy finding this stuff? Obviously on the internet. What's this guy looking up on the internet that he's finding elephant dick and what it can do to a man? The real scary part is he's 30 years old and lives with his parents.
Keep it going with Derek, ladies and gentlemen.